And good afternoon, good morning, or whatever time you may be watching this broadcast. My name is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and we are here to talk about the new variant, Omicron. And I tell you, when I learned the Greek alphabets back in college, when I was pledging a college fraternity, I did not realize that that knowledge would come in handy 40 years ago, 50 years ago, whenever it was. So, but it is, you know, it's the new thing now. We had the Delta variant, and somehow they skipped over Epsilon, and a few others all the way to Omicron, which is, there's a lot of variants in between there because if you look up the Greek alphabets, there's about at least 6 to 8 alphabets they skipped over. So we've been having a lot of variants. So I'm here to talk about why this is not going to end. And the primary reason, but let me go ahead and thank South Africa. Uh, South Africa is one of those areas that, for two reasons. Number one, it is uh, probably one of the advanced countries in Africa, and also in sub-Saharan Africa that we consider. And number one is it has a vibrant airline that flies to a lot of countries. So therefore, being an advanced country and also have a lot of people coming to visit, uh, both sick people and people coming to visit from a uh, relaxation, vacation point of view. And finally, it is advanced and it has modern techniques, and they actually uh, manufacture some vaccines down there and things like that. So it is the one that we need to pay attention to when they're finding these variants. So it's not a hit against them, it's a thank you, South Africa. So the overall reason for these variants is low vaccination rate. When we look at the vaccination rate uh, worldwide is about 47%. However, there's a lot of variance in between there. Number one is like the United States, we are at 59.1%. Uh, but however, in most of Africa, except for Morocco, which is in the very northern part of Africa, uh, they have 61% vaccination rate, so they're higher than the United States. But when you go down in sub-Saharan Africa, it drops down to like South Africa. They only have 24% vaccination rate. The Botswana and all the countries that were on that list with them, uh, only Lesotho had a higher vaccination rate of only 26.5%. But that's not the big problem. The big problem, as I see it, is you got countries like the Congo, which has less than 1%. It's 1/10 of a percent of vaccination rate. You got Tanzania, which 1.5%. You got Nigeria, 1.7%. You even got Ethiopia at 1.2%, Kenya 5%, and Angola 8.4%. You got a lot of the majority of the countries in Africa are less than 10%. So with as I mentioned, South Africa is one of the vacation spots that people want to go, has industry. What you're going to see is, I think, is the migration of these viruses in these from Congo, even Kenya, Nigeria. They're going to bring those viruses into South Africa because it's easier to get there because they have the airlines to fly people. Uh, the two major airlines I always think about are three. It would be Kenyan Airways, Ethiopian Airline, and South African Airlines. Those are major African airlines that crisscross Africa bringing people. So I don't know what the market share for South African Airlines, but I know being a vacation spot and thing that it's going to attract a lot of people. So why are we having such a low vaccination rate? Number one is the lack of vaccines. Uh, uh, they just don't have the vaccines. The rich countries paid for and bought up all the vaccinations. And so therefore, with the poor African countries, they are waiting on the COVAX, the distribution of vaccines. So lack of vaccines is number one. Number two would be logistics. Uh, there's not a lot of roads and ways to get vaccines out into the unpopulated areas or even the populated areas. For instance, like in the Congo, you got to fly everywhere. So even if you find from one major population area, the major cities, you have to go by air. Third thing is cold storage. As we all know, these vaccines, the majority of them require either super cold storage or at least some way regulated, uh, cold, around freezing or something. And I tell you, in Congo and most of sub-Saharan Africa, you do not have those facilities, and the double whammy is it is a hot country. It is a hot country, a hot continent, so therefore you definitely need the cold storage. Finally, you don't, I think fourth, you don't have the health facilities. Uh, you in the Congo, you have a one health center, probably no more than a little small clinic that we would consider here in the United States, and it is supposed to be able to take care of 100,000 people, 150,000 people. It is just impossible that they have the facilities to really, even if they had the vaccination, even if they had the cold storage, how are you going to reach those numbers of people? And finally, it's the old vaccine hesitancy. You got, in the Congo and places that I've visited, uh, you don't see a lot of deaths from COVID. You don't see a lot of sicknesses from COVID. So they really think that it's something that they're immune to. However, because of the younger population, a lot of people are walking around asymptomatic. So that's where the viruses and the variants really, mutate and everything. And finally, being in Africa, people are really hesitant and don't trust things as readily available, even though they have seen measles, mumps, all types of other vaccines that in those areas. But this is new thing that has been even I think part of our hesitancy here in the United States has rubbed off on them when they think, oh, if the American people say that it was developed too fast, well, we definitely believe it was developed too fast. So you have those factors that contributing to this low vaccination rate. So as a result, you're going to continue seeing variants. And so we're going to keep moving up the Greek alphabets. Next is Nu, Pi, and it's going to keep right on going, until you get to the end. And then they may have to double up, because I think what surprised me more is already we're at Omicron, and there'll probably be more. So thank you all for stopping by, and we'll see Gloria. Gloria, I put her comments on there. She wrote a nice set of comments. So thank you for your comments. I'll take a look at those and I'll get back with you online. I think you came in on YouTube, so I will drop you a comment back. And thank you so much for stopping by. We will talk to you later. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of others, and we will talk with you later.